The film begins with a boy named Jason, who is creating an internet video to share the news of his transfer to St. Adeline's convent school. In the video, he showcases his guitar skills while singing, having already built a significant online presence through his performances. Jason and his sister Zoe arrive at the school with their parents, where they are welcomed by the headmistress, Sister Rebecca. They also meet Sarah, Zoe's assigned roommate, who seems to have a crush on Jason. As they head to Sister Rebecca's office, they encounter Sister Sophia, a mysterious nun introduced earlier. Inside the office, Sister Sophia is briefed on the school's rules. Later, she is seen in her room, watching a video of Jason singing on her laptop, and she kisses the screen. The following morning, when Sophia enters the classroom to greet the students, she notices Jason and Sarah animatedly chatting, seemingly oblivious to her presence. Jealous and upset, Sophia moves Sarah to the front row to separate her from Jason. When it's time for the morning prayer, Zoe reminds Sophia about the tradition, but she instructs Zoe to lead it while remaining silent herself, which Zoe finds odd. After class, Zoe shares her suspicions about Sophia with Jason, but he brushes them off. As he leaves, he runs into Sophia, who apologizes for her earlier behavior and inquires if Sarah is his girlfriend. Jason's answer leads to a strange and disappointing reaction from Sophia. The next day, when Sophia sees Jason and Sarah sharing a kiss, she abruptly interrupts them, telling Jason to return to class while she deals with Sarah. Sophia threatens to suspend Sarah, but Sarah is unconcerned, knowing her father donates to the school, which only infuriates Sophia further. Later that day, Sophia asks Jason to stay after class once the other students have left. She accuses him of being dishonest about his relationship with Sarah and insists he meet her in a private room. Although Jason hesitates due to school rules against students entering staff areas, Sophia threatens to report him, leaving him with no choice but to comply. When Jason arrives at Sophia's room, he finds the door ajar. Just as he is about to leave, he glimpses Sophia slowly undressing and applying oil, which makes him uncomfortable, and he decides to walk away. Sophia watches him leave with a smile, indicating that her attempt to seduce him is working. As the weekend approaches, students prepare to return home. Sophia looks on jealously as Jason hugs Sarah in the parking lot. She then informs Sister Rebecca that she wishes to visit her sick Aunt Frances. Shortly after, she requests that the school conduct a room inspection. During this inspection, a bottle of alcohol is found in Jason's room, the same one Sophia had been drinking from in her car. Pretending to sympathize, Sophia asks Sister Rebecca to let Jason stay over the weekend to help clean the school grounds. One day, Sophia approaches Jason while he is mowing the grass and fertilizing the school grounds. The two engage in a light conversation, and as Sophia leans in closer to Jason, she deliberately starts to unbutton her shirt. Jason notices something unusual beneath her shirt, but Sophia remains calm and appears pleased that she has successfully lured him in. Later that night, she sneaks into Jason's room while he sleeps, aiming to seduce him further. Despite his initial reluctance, Sophia manages to entice Jason into a more intimate encounter, all while secretly recording it on her phone. The next morning, Jason is visibly disturbed by the events of the previous night. Meanwhile, Zoe grows concerned when she can't locate her brother. She heads to his dorm room and finds Sophia sniffing Jason's clothes. When Zoe confronts her, Sophia threatens to report Zoe to Father Macy for being in the boys' dormitory. Faced with this intimidation, Zoe reluctantly leaves, but remains suspicious of Sophia's intentions. Later, Sophia requests that Zoe stay after class. She hands Zoe a history paper that she has failed, despite Zoe's consistent academic success. Pretending to be invested in Zoe's future, Sophia suggests they meet after school to review the test. She intentionally leaves an answer key on her desk, and when Zoe arrives and sees it, her curiosity prompts her to examine it. At that moment, Sophia walks in and feigns shock, claiming Zoe was cheating. However, Sister Rebecca, the headmistress, finds it hard to believe, given Zoe's history as a top student. Meanwhile, a bishop visits the school, and Sister Rebecca welcomes him. He describes Sister Sophia as a ray of sunshine, which raises Sister Rebecca's suspicion since the Sophia she knows is usually strict and distant. Sister Rebecca asks the bishop to wait in her office while she goes to find Sophia. Upon encountering her, Sophia lies, saying she plans to visit her Aunt Frances again, which is her escape plan after seeing Sister Rebecca with the bishop. During the weekend, Jason receives a text from Sarah inviting him to a party and asking him to bring his guitar. That night at dinner, when Jason requests permission to go to the party, a fierce argument breaks out between him and his father regarding his future. Upset, Jason storms out, unaware that Sophia is following him. At the party, Sarah attempts to entice Jason into a private room, hoping for an intimate moment, but Jason is distracted and uninterested. He decides to leave with a bottle of alcohol, and when Sarah tries to follow, she discovers that her car has been vandalized. On his way home, Jason is pulled over by a police officer and almost gets arrested for public intoxication. Fortunately, Sophia arrives just in time to intervene and help him. Concerned about returning home inebriated, Jason allows Sophia to take him to her place. While she promises to help him sober up, Sophia begins to act erratically, suggesting they leave the country together. When Jason declines, she pleads desperately for him to stay, but he chooses to leave. Jason then sits by the roadside and calls his sister Zoe, asking her to pick him up. Their father overhears and goes out searching for Jason. When he finds him, he apologizes for not believing in Jason's dreams. The next day, as Jason and Zoe are preparing to head to school, Zoe spots a car speeding away, which she later discovers belongs to Sophia. Returning to his dorm, Jason is shocked to find Sophia lying unconscious on his bed with a bottle of pills beside her. In a panic, he rushes to perform CPR, but to his surprise, Sophia suddenly kisses him, revealing that she was only pretending to be unconscious to see if he cared for her. Jason tells Sophia he plans to report her, but she responds with threats. Later, Zoe calls Jason to share her suspicions about Sophia, but he insists that she keep their situation from their parents. The following day, Sophia asks Jason to lead the school prayer. Unbeknownst to her, Sister Rebecca is watching from the doorway and notes that Sophia doesn't actually participate in the prayer. To Sophia's shock, Sarah returns to school, feeling threatened by her presence. Sophia then asks Jason to stay after class, attempting to convince him that they are meant to be together, but Jason leaves to speak with Sarah instead. That night, while Sarah is in the shower, Sophia stealthily approaches and kills her. Later, Zoe goes to Sarah's room looking for her, but discovers Sarah's lifeless body in the bathroom, screaming in horror. As the school grapples with the tragedy, Jason confronts Sophia, but she reveals a video she recorded of their encounter from the other night, leaving him unsettled. During the weekend, Sophia deceives Sister Rebecca, claiming she needs to attend her aunt's funeral. Instead, she goes to the same restaurant where Jason and his family are dining. Despite Jason's objections, his parents invite Sophia to join them at their table. Meanwhile, Sister Rebecca grows suspicious of Sophia's story and calls the hospital to check on her aunt's health, only to learn that Sophia has been lying. When Sister Rebecca summons Sophia to her office, Sophia realizes her secrets are about to come to light. In a panic, she knocks the nun unconscious. Zoe and Jason sneak into Sophia's room, where they discover that her real name is Laura and find numerous photos of Jason, indicating that Sophia has been obsessively stalking him. Panicked, Zoe and Jason head to Sister Rebecca's office, but find it empty. They then go to the church, where they encounter Sophia. A confrontation ensues, and Sophia attacks both Zoe and Jason. However, Sister Rebecca arrives just in time to distract Sophia and protect the students. In the ensuing struggle, Jason manages to stab Sophia in the back, saving them from her violent intentions. In the aftermath, Sophia succumbs to her injuries. In the final scene, Jason and Zoe are seen after their graduation. Their parents give Zoe a car, while Jason receives a guitar as his graduation present.